Hey everybody, we've got another DP minute for you on comment number 24 of the QMSR, and this one is to align the definitions in the QMSR with ISO 9000. Remember, it's 9000, not 9001. So here's what they say. The comment number 24, some comments recommended that FDA fully align QMSR's definitions with those in ISO 1345. Other comments suggested FDA clarify how terms in ISO 9000 function in the QMSR. So here's what they said. FDA partially agrees with the suggestion. There are, however, certain definitions in ISO 1345 that the FDA cannot adopt because either they conflict with or differ from definitions established in the FD&C Act or implementing regulations. Now, you got to remember, these comments are coming from the final draft of the QMSR that was implemented about 2 years ago. So what the FDA has actually done is they changed a lot of the definitions that were in that draft to now harmonize with ISO 9000. Okay, so that's where these comments are coming from. ISO 1345 uses ISO 9000 as a normative reference, and Clause 3 of ISO 1345 states that for the purposes of ISO 1345, the terms and definitions in 9000 apply, not 9001. FDA acknowledges that some terms that appear in the former QS regulation no longer appear in the QMSR. FDA further acknowledges that certain terms that appear in the QMSR do not appear in ISO 1345 and thus are not defined in that document. While we have not provided comparisons between all definitions in the QMSR and the QS regulation or ISO 1345, subsequent responses in this section address specific terms in which we received questions. So what they're saying is they may not have defined them in ISO 9000 or 1345 or in the QMSR, but they're saying in the preamble here they have laid out what their expectations to the definitions are. So it's very, very important to understand what is in this preamble. Although 1345 and QMSR and the former QMS regulation use some different terms, the requirements remain substantially the same. So that's how they're seeing it, is that ISO 1345 meets all of the requirements of the QS regulation and the FD&C Act. Here's one other one. FDA reiterates that it does not intend to incorporate any definitions or terms that are inconsistent with definitions set forth in the FD&C Act. We also note that ISO 1345 only references the terms and definitions in Clause 3 of ISO 9000. That's very important to understand. It's only referencing the terms and definitions in Clause 3 of ISO 9000. It does not reference the remainder of the document. FDA considers the remainder of ISO 9000 to fall outside the scope of the QMSR. So there's your DP minute. It was a little bit longer than a minute this time, but that was a very lengthy definition in response by the FDA. So Darren Reeves, DP Distribution, and we will see you next time.